Heading into this offseason, the New York Knicks were linked to several superstar trades and to a number of key free agents. But also, one of the main questions headed into this offseason for the New York Knicks was how they value the talent on their roster, specifically Julius Randle. Well, thankfully, due to an NBA Insider's recent report, we now know how the New York Knicks see Julius Randle and see his value. And we also know what circumstances need to be there for the New York Knicks to trade Julius Randle. We're going to break down all of this and more today. Let's get started. The Knicks won't trade Julius Randle unless it's for a superstar. Now, this was first reported by SNY's Ian Begley on Zach Lowe's podcast. According to Ian Begley, Randle will only be moved and traded for an Embiid-type star. Knicks have no interest in moving Julius Randle unless they can land one of the NBA's biggest stars. Ian Begley doubled down on this and reported the following. I don't think there's a world right now where the Knicks would move Julius Randle. I mean, it would have to be for like a Joel Embiid or a player like that that's going to change your franchise day one as soon as he steps in the building. This is a major report coming from Ian Begley here. For all of the people that have been hoping and wishing and praying that Julius Randle will be traded by the New York Knicks to another team, it looks like you're going to be waiting for a very long time. Per this report, Julius Randle will not be moved by the New York Knicks unless it's for an Embiid-like superstar. If it's not for an Embiid-like superstar or somebody on the level of Embiid, the Knicks are not moving Julius Randle. They would much rather keep him. What that tells me is a few things. One, the New York Knicks see Julius Randle in an extremely high regard and value him highly. They also see that due to his production, that it's going to be hard to replicate that if you trade him for peanuts, draft picks, or a couple of other maybe rising stars or on their way stars, but not stars yet. So I think the Knicks know this, and I don't think they're going to trade Randle for anything else besides an Embiid-like package. That was at least the report that we just heard from Ian Begley. And unless you're going to get a superstar back that can change your franchise as soon as they get here, that is that game-changing and that box office, if that player is not on the other line, then the Knicks are not trading Julius Randle. That's number one. But number two, it also points to the fact that the New York Knicks cannot get the same value back in a Julius Randle trade right now. Julius Randle's numbers and production are all-star level. They're all-star worthy. He was an all-star this past season due to his power forward play and how good he was. He made all NBA third team as well. So Julius Randle, in terms of his play and his production, is one of the better power forwards in the game today. And that is based on his numbers, his play, and his impact to the game as a power forward. So we already know what Julius Randle can do on that front. And if you just look at the numbers, it is very, very hard not to understand why the New York Knicks will not move Randle unless it's for that type of Embiid-like player. Because they see Randle in a superstar type of light. And if you see Randle in that way, that means you're not going to move him for anything less than something you see him as, which is going to be a superstar. This is such a major report because it basically signifies the fact that Julius Randle is going to be a New York Knick for a very, very, very long time. Because I think you'd be hard-pressed to find another team in the NBA today that would trade one of their top-tier stars for Julius Randle. Randle's value and his production may be all-star level, but in terms of how he's seen around the league, his value is not as high as some of those other superstars. Sometimes production is one thing, but attitude, leadership, what you do on and off the court, those things matter as well too. And if you're looking to trade for Julius Randle, you have to trade for that attitude, the ISO play, his type of leadership, and what he would give another team if added there. And certainly, Julius Randle doesn't fit the mold of every team. His ISO play can hurt certain teams and hurt what they're doing. So if you're a team trading for Julius Randle, that means you know the role Julius Randle is going to fill for your team, and you know the role that you have and the void that you have. Bleacher Report also noted the following about Julius Randle. The Knicks are so interested in keeping Randle, and it's notable. He's under team control for only 2 more seasons before he has a $29.5 million player option, which means the Knicks may have a limited time frame to make a deep playoff run while he's the focal point of the roster. This is a good point mentioned here by Bleacher Report. It does point to the fact that the New York Knicks like Julius Randle's contract, like the control they have over it, and are looking to build on top of the talent that they have on the roster currently with other key pieces. It doesn't mean that the Knicks are not looking to add a superstar, but it does mean that they are comfortable with the roster that they have right now and building with it. That means Julius Randle, for them, is one of the key pieces on their roster, and they're looking to build and add talent around Randle, Brunson, and RJ to help the team get better in that regard. They're not looking to make a superstar type of trade with Julius Randle right now, and I think the reason for that is a type of trade like that doesn't exist right now. There isn't probably any offers on the table right now that center around Julius Randle in terms of a trade package to get a superstar in this league. I don't think that exists right now. And for some of you that have been saying that Julius Randle doesn't put up all-star type of numbers, we have to stop that narrative here. Let's look at Julius Randle's averages right now. 25.1 points, 10 rebounds, and 4.1 assists per game while shooting 45.9% from the field and 34.3% from 3. It was an excellent campaign for him where he got an all-star selection and all NBA third team like we mentioned before. So let's not get it twisted here. Maybe you don't like Julius Randle. Maybe you don't like his game, his leadership, or how he plays. His ISO play maybe you don't like. But if you're just talking from a production and talent level, you cannot take away how productive and monstrous and strong Julius Randle is during the season. For power forwards in the game today, Julius Randle is up there as one of the best power forwards in the game today. Not only because of his production, but what he gives you and how tough and strong he is. How hard of a cover he is. So there are different points you have to look at here. If you're looking just at defense, though, and what Randle gives you on that end, maybe you can make an argument that he has a lot of work to do. But offensively, Randle's game is pretty damn good. Let's look at Joel Embiid and Julius Randle and their numbers side by side. We're not going to look at shooting percentages because it's more or less the same or close to each other. We just want to look at the numbers. Randle, 25 points. Joel Embiid, 33.1 points. Randle, 10 rebounds. Joel Embiid, 10.2 rebounds. Randle, 4.1 assists. Joel Embiid, 4.2 assists. 66 games played for Joel Embiid and 77 games played for damn near Iron Man in Julius Randle. Did you see those numbers between Joel Embiid and Julius Randle? Other than the points, which were about a 6 or 7 point differential, other than that, every other number on this list is more or less the same, comparable. If you wanted to know why the Knicks would not move on from Julius Randle unless it's for like a superstar level type of player, like an Embiid type player, this is the reason why. Their numbers are extremely similar. So they're not going to give up a Julius Randle-like player, somebody that gives you all-star level production, even though the Knicks would want to trade Randle in a superstar deal because the numbers, the production, and all of that makes sense. And that's how they see and value Randle. That may not be how the league sees and values Randle. And if that's the case, regardless of the trades that you want to make, if the other team doesn't want to make that trade for Julius Randle, but would rather have an RJ Barrett, a Quentin Grimes, and some other pieces, then as the Knicks, you're going to have to look at that and evaluate if that makes sense for your team or not. So even though the Knicks may not be trading Randle unless the superstar on the other end is an Embiid-like player or better, if that's not the other star on the other line, the Knicks are not trading Randle. However, the Knicks may not have that many opportunities to trade Randle in the first place. So if Randle has a great start to the season and he's doing really, really well and putting up amazing numbers, the Knicks might want to explore trades at the trade deadline to get rid of Randle and get a player that's either better than him or at his level in terms of production on this Knicks team. Thanks to these reports, we finally understand how the New York Knicks value Julius Randle and what his price tag is if he's going to be moved by the Knicks. And if the Knicks are going to move Julius Randle, it's going to take an Embiid-like superstar to be on the table and available for the Knicks to trade Randle in a potential deal. But if that's not on the table, the New York Knicks will not be trading Julius Randle, and he'll be part of this organization and the New York Knicks roster for the next few years, and maybe even past that if he signs another extension with the New York Knicks. Only time will tell to see what happens in that regard. But one thing I will say, if you are a Knicks fan and you're hoping and praying and wishing that Julius Randle will not be on this roster for next season, I wouldn't be praying or wishing too hard. Because honestly, after this report came out, one of the first things that came in my mind, and I'm sure it came into your head, is that the New York Knicks and Julius Randle will be a pairing and will be tied together, not only for this year and this coming season, but for many, many seasons to come. If you like this video, go ahead and leave a comment below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.